Pizza Steve. Pizza Stevie needs new glasses and maybe some driving classes. Pizza Stevie is to blame. He loves looking for cocaine. Andy Frasco yells at Steve, but he can't afford for him to leave. Lindsay thinks he is the man, but we got him jerking in the van. Oh Lord, yeah.
Just talking that was shit right off the bat.
Clacked that one.
And we're back. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast.
All right, let's get this over with. I have important shit to do today.
Yeah, I can tell. Hi, how you doing, everyone? I'm Andy Frasco. How's our hearts? How's our minds? Are we staying out of trouble? Fucking Denzel's in the studio. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
We love Denzel when he's in the studio. This is such a chiller.
My intern.
We got our co-host, Trivia Master.
Trivia Master.
If anyone, there's you think the people
You don't even
who
know
do
how
trivia,
fucking good this is, guys.
It's a great show. I've been going.
Fucking the
I've been
best thing
going
I've
every
ever done
week.
in my life.
I love how you put a light on yourself now so people can
I do?
see you. There's a light under you.
Oh, it's just probably my laptop screen.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
either
thought
way.
it was like, but it looked cool. It looked like
looked
a
cool?
pro show.
It did? Nice.
It looked like a pro show, and it was really fun. And people are, I bet this is, I know how you are. And you probably get so hard when you fucking say, all right, everyone's talking. All right, next question. And the crowd just,
Oh, fucking, that's my
That
favorite.
gets you so
I
fucking-
love when people do my bidding.
I know. God.
I love
damn
when they cheer when I tell them to, but I really love when they get quiet when I
It
tell
was
them
good
to.
show.
That's when you know you're powerful.
So we got Nick Gerlach, co-host of the year. We're just fucking killing it. out
Beyonce
here.
does that on her show. You know that?
No.
She has this thing in an arena where I don't know what song it is, but she'll be like something on mute, and the whole fucking arena goes silent. And if you talk, her fans will like. There's videos of it on TikTok. If somebody like makes a noise, you'll get shit from another Beyonce fan. Imagine being able to get 60,000 people to shut the fuck up.
It's amazing. You know
No
what
one
else
can do
is
that.
a
She should
show?
be president.
Yeah, she should. Another show just like Beyonce was Black Sabbath. I was
Oh my
obsessed with that fucking show.
You
That is
love
one.
that.
That was the best. That was one of the most entertaining concerts I've seen. I went again.
And
I went to the after party.
And it's the same show.
It's the same kind of the same show.
Which is fine.
But they did a couple other songs. But
Okay.
yeah, the encore.
I mean,
and-
there's only so many Black Sabbath songs.
yeah, and only
Yeah.
so much shtick you could do with that. With him grilling.
So they work the McDonald's like stuff into bits too. It's not
Oh,
just
every
the
song
costumes.
is about McDonald's. So every
Oh.
lyric is like, I am frying pan.
That's so
And then-
smart
oh.
because then they can't get sued really either.
Right.
It's like the Weird Al thing.
There's this video of them showing like, I guess, what's Ozzy Osbourne's kid's name? Jack?
Yeah.
Brings Ozzy into a room and Max Sabbath is in the room and they play Frying Pan or Iron Man.
Wait, this really happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Ozzy's face is like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. And he was just freaking out.
Did they play it like well, the music? Is it like
Yeah.
it's nails?
It's sick.
Do you know the guys at all in real life?
No, but it's my old agent, Brad Raffin. Shout out to Brad. Always killing me
He's
with the
also my
talent.
agent now.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad books them.
We're still getting it going, but yeah.
Oh my God. I gotta get what do you call it?
Macintosh Sabbath. What?
I gotta get them to open. I think it'd be sick.
Oh my God. It'd be like a lot actually.
What?
That's a lot of entertainment.
Yeah.
And there's not 9 guys in the band.
Yeah. But I just got that.
I'm just kidding. They're my friends.
Oh shit.
I bet no one's more annoyed by having 9 people in the band than they are.
Right.
I mean, the old days when they had like the turquoise full moving 14 people they were in a passenger, like a 15 person. They are a killing band, so it's gonna.
Yeah, they're great.
That's gonna be good.
And Craig Broadhead texts me. He's like, I'm so excited to go on tour with you. I'm like,
Craig
fuck
rules.
yeah. I'm excited because it's going to be the NBA season and we could watch basketball together.
Mm-hmm. You guys can watch me win in fantasy every week.
You're probably gonna win again.
I don't know. I win every other year, so I'm not expecting to win this year. I'm going for
I got
playoffs.
a new strategy this year.
What? Draft better players? Don't just get Lakers because you love them. You always reach on a Laker.
I always reach on a Laker.
I am like the opposite of you.
Yeah.
I avoid people on my favorite teams.
Why?
Because then it's like not attached.
I know, but then it's like I can root for them.
I already root for them anyway. I can separate fantasy from real life. That's why it's called fantasy.
Oh.
I'm trying to make the playoffs. That's like my goal this year. I've won 2 of the last 3 years. I'm up $1,700.
I want to do a fantasy draft for musicians. Can we do one?
That'd be fun, but there's a huge pool. But I love stuff like this. What kind of band are we making?
I mean, it's up to you what type of band you want.
Okay, we got to build a jam band, obviously. This is the Jam Band podcast. We're part of the Jam Band universe.
Right. Who would be your first pick?
Well, it's tough because it's like football. You got to think more like basketball, I guess, though, because it's like a similar.
Right.
But like, what's the most important position?
I don't know.
Drums.
It depends what you want.
I think drums is usually the most important thing in a band.
Really?
You ever heard a band with a shitty drummer?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, what the fuck are we even doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to go drummer first. So what kind of band are we building?
I mean,
we're going back and forth. It's a draft.
it's a draft. So how do you
You
want
can
to
have the first pick.
No, I gave
Snake
you the
draft.
first pick. I gave you the first pick.
Okay, but we'll snake it then. So you get second and third.
Okay.
So if we're going drummer, I'm gonna go with. Has to be someone in like a touring jam band. Okay.
Right.
Isaac Teal.
Ooh, good call.
You know why?
Why?
He's a 2-tool player. He can also sing his ass off.
Yeah. Well,
That's a good pick, huh?
It's a good pick.
And it's not like his salary's not going to be as high as some of these other guys.
Right. I am gonna go.
Keep him under the salary cap.
Keep him under the side. Bullshit. He's in Dolan's band.
Yeah, but they're not like,
They're making money.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Talk makes money.
They ain't like Pretty Lights or some shit, though. Dude, those guys are expensive.
I go Kanika Moore first
Ooh, that's
pick.
a good one.
Because now I
See, you care about vocals.
I care about vocals.
Not me. I'm building an instrumental band where Isaac sings sometimes if we do a cool cover. You get another pick, though. You're snaking it.
Okay, so then I would go.
We're going to have 6 people total in the band.
6 people total in the band. Okay, then I would go.
And then we get to draft a manager.
We get the draft
And an
manager.
agent.
Okay, cool.
That's
deal.
like kicker and defense. That's
Yeah.
last. We don't.
Okay, so I'd go second round. I'd go, I'd probably go Shawn Eccles.
Wow. Okay, so are we going for are we trying to sell tickets here too, or are we just trying to make a good band?
We're trying to. Okay,
no,
we're
I'm
trying to
just
sell
asking.
tickets.
Okay, so if because I want to go for some bigger names, that might cost a little more, but
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good. Oh, okay, you're going for like a rock explosion, fucking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a choppy, funky masterpiece. That's just so I'm gonna have to go bass next. I'm gonna go Garrett from Motet.
Ooh,
Sneaky, huh?
I like that.
Then I get another pick. So, you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to pick a guitar player. I'm going to pick another guy that can do multiple things, and he can bring a lot to the table musically. He's also got a pretty good online presence. Stays promoting his shit. Craig Broadhead.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's sneaky.
He plays the shit out of keys, too.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's like your utility guy.
Utility guy.
Yeah.
Isaac's like my star, sort of. Like he's the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, sort of, And then I got Garrett's just, I don't know. He's just like the best bass player, pretty much.
So you're going all Denver.
Craig lives not in Denver.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess Isaac. I keep forgetting Isaac lives in. I see him outside of Denver more than I see him in Denver, actually. But yeah.
So you have Isaac, Craig Broadhead from Turquoise,
Garrett Sayers.
and Garrett Sayers from Motet.
That's a good one. Now you got 2 picks.
I get 2 picks.
So far
I
you
got
have Kanika and Sean.
Kanika, Sean. I think for my 3rd pick, I'm going to go Victor Wooten.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Because
he counts as a jam band.
He counts as a jam band.
For sure.
Shout out to Floyd, but Victor Wooten.
You don't want Floyd in a jam band. He has no clue what he's doing. You get another one I forgot. So you have singer, bass, guitar.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're going late on drummer.
Yeah. There's a lot of good drummers still out there.
There's tons of good drummers.
And then I need a utility guy. I like horns.
Oh yeah, see that's what I was thinking.
And I need keyboards. So I'm going to pick Nick Gerlach.
Oh, you drafted me on your team. That's pretty good. God, I'm going to be busy. Because I'm not in my band. I'm just.
Yeah.
I think I'll just be the social media guy for my band. Okay, so I have those three gentlemen.
God, my band's gonna be pissed.
Your band's gonna be really pissed.
That's
What?
okay.
Andy Frasco and the UN?
Yeah.
They're not jam band guys. You already drafted Sean.
I did draft Sean.
You haven't drafted a drummer yet.
I know.
Okay, so I have I have a guitar keys and maybe I'll get like a straight up. Let me think here. This is tough. Do I want another guitar player? Do I want just a dedicated keyboardist? You know where I'm going to go?
Who?
I'm going to go with a great keyboardist. I'm going to go with Ivan Neville.
Ooh, I like that. That's a
They're jam band. Dumpster Funk's in the
jam band
scene.
adjacent.
They play jam band. The rule is like, do you play at least 5 jam band festivals a summer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, so I get another one here. I'm going to go with another guitar player
Yeah.
and another guy. I decided to get another. I decided I'm going to focus more on vocals. I'm going to get maybe the best singer / guitar player combo in the scene, Nicholas Casarino.
Ooh, I like that. Nick
Look
from
at
Nth
my
Power.
look at my guitar section.
It's
Casarino
fire.
and Broadhead.
Yeah. I would yeah, so I have 2 more picks and I'm done with my team.
That's your last 2 picks.
Okay.
So you can get weird here. I have a full band. I'm going to maybe go horns or something next.
Yeah. I am going to I know Sean and I know he'll hate having a second guitar player, so I'm not going to definitely do that. So I think I am going to do Jen Hartswick.
Oh, I was going to pick her.
So now I just got power singers.
Yeah.
I got a lot of singers. And
you
then
got me there. I was going to be my pick.
yeah, so I got Jen Hartswick from Trey,
So who's your other one?
Kanika Moore. My last pick has to be a drummer, and I am going.
Yeah, you still haven't picked a drummer.
I am going to do Alvin Ford Jr. as my drummer.
Oh, that's a great one. You got a good band there.
I got a good band. So let's go over.
I get one more pick, don't I?
Yeah, and let's write this down. So
I get one more. So
if people who don't know who Alvin Ford Jr. is, he's in George Porter's band.
he's in Pretty Lights.
He's in Pretty Lights.
He's in. He tours the trombone shorty now too.
Yeah, he sings.
He used to be in Dumpster Funk.
Yeah.
He's just like one of the best. Oh, he also, if you watch Tiny Desk concerts, he was on the Juvenile one, I think. He was the drummer on the Juvenile one. That was all Trombone Shorty's band. So I get one more. So do I go with maybe like a horn player? You already drafted me, so
I did draft you. Dude.
I'm going to go with Benny Bloom.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, he's miscellaneous.
He's miscellaneous.
He can sing.
He can sing. He's a great showman.
He's a great showman.
There's going to be some good wine backstage.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a vibe. It's a good vibe. It's a good hang. This
The man's
band.
got a hog.
You've heard, does he?
I think I've seen the indent of his jeans. He has a hog.
You're an indent looker, I've noticed.
I do look at the indent.
Oops.
Is that like predatorial to look at an indent?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's more creepy than predatorial.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious to see who has hogs.
This guy got out of bed 45 minutes ago, and he's like shifting
Still
around,
sleeping.
getting comfortable on the couch.
Okay, so let me write down your team. Benny Bloom, Isaac Teal. Benny Bloom from Lettuce. Isaac Teal from
EEL.
Talk.
Garrett Sayers.
Garrett Sayers from
Nick Casarino.
Motet. Ooh, that's a sneaky one because he could sing and he's a fucking shredder.
He's like maybe the best singer.
Casarino.
He's up there, you know.
Casarino from
Ivan
Nth
Neville.
Power. Ooh, you have a good team. Nth
that all?
Power.
Is that all 6?
Ivan Neville.
You're better at typing than I thought you'd be.
Ivan Neville from Dumpster Funk.
He literally knows where all the letters. You are one fingering it though.
Yeah,
kinda.
I do.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But you're fast at it.
So you have one.
Well, who did I pick besides? Was there another one?
Benny, Casarino, Garrett Sayers, Ivan Neville.
Oh, do I get 2 picks because it's the switch round?
You might need.
Or did I forget someone here?
I think you
Bo?
forgot. Casarino. Who's your guitar player?
Broadhead and Casarino.
Oh, you had Craig Broadhead too.
Yeah, he's on keys and guitar. Yeah, okay, that's right. I thought I drafted 6.
Broadhead
Perfect.
from Turquoise.
And then
That's a nice band.
And I'll be running the Instagram.
Okay, so agent
Oh yeah, agent
and manager.
Ooh.
Oh God, this is bad. Okay.
Is it my pick?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with my old manager of Cosby Sweater because I know what I'm getting. Dan Rosinski of 1111 Productions.
Oh my God.
He currently manages Corey Wong. He knows how to manage great musicians. We already have a great working relationship. And he's pretty good looking.
I like that.
Yep. And he doesn't go to stuff, which I like. He's not trying to be Mr. Cool Guy. He's already got a hot wife. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He's got a great life in Indiana. He basically lives right outside of Chicago in Indiana. He's not trying to, you know what I mean? So he's not trying to be in the band and shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. I hear that.
I'm drafting him. Okay, you go.
I'm going John Bongiorno, my guy.
Yeah. Well, that's an
I
agent.
love him.
I haven't drafted my agent yet.
Oh, you did manager
That's
first?
manager, Dan Rosinski. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to do... Okay, so manager.
DR. Just put DR.
Okay. Okay, my manager...
Yeah, because you drafted agent John B., so your manager...
I think it's going to be Andy Avila,
What?
my drummer.
Is going to be the manager of your jam band? What? I like it. I like the zag. Explain.
Because he's no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If I taught him how to manage and
Which
he
he
was
could learn.
on the... He could learn.
He's a whip. He's a smart guy.
He's a whip.
Yeah.
He loves money. It obsesses his brain.
Yeah.
So if I could teach him how to make money in the industry, I feel like I would...
I like this.
I like
A
that. I
young
could teach him.
Padawan.
And he's young, and he could really... If I really taught him,
A Padawan, if you will.
he'd be on the
It's a
calls.
Star Wars term.
He'd be on the calls.
A learner.
And he's like, no bullshit. If someone fucks with him, he will set him straight. So I think my manager is Andrew Avila.
So I get to pick an agent.
Yes. Don't you dare.
What?
Don't you dare pick my agent.
You already picked John Bongiorno.
I know, but I drafted too quickly.
No, you picked. You got 2 picks in a row because it's
Oh,
Snake.
cool.
Yeah. So you get Bongiorno and Andy
Andrew.
Avila. So my agent, damn, that's a. Should I zag on my agent and pick like a young? Oh, I know who my agent.
You need a young manager.
You know what? Not too young, but a guy with some connections that's building a nice business out here in the Midwest, and he's a likable guy. He's business oriented, but he used to be a musician. Well, he's still a musician, but he used to be a full-time musician.
Yeah.
Rob Chafin.
Wow, from the work?
Yeah, but he runs Secret Dreams.
You know, that's a sneaky good...
Dude,
I like Rob as your manager.
because he runs that club. So there you go. You got a gig in Columbus. He owns a club in Columbus, Summit. He owns a festival.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if he owns it. Whatever. He's a buyer. He put that whole sick lineup together.
Yeah.
I like that zag.
Wait, are you mad that I didn't pick you as my manager, Bo?
He's a tour manager. Ooh, we should draft.
He's like, fuck that. I know how you treat managers.
You gonna pick a tour? Should we pick tour managers too?
Yeah, let's do a tour manager.
Okay,
too.
so I get to pick my tour manager, Samia. I picked Samia.
I
Safidi.
picked Bo Belinsky.
Okay.
He's the best guy in the business.
That's fine.
You got Sammy. That's cool. You need a little more estrogen.
Yeah, and she's the shit.
And I got Jen and Kanika. I got estrogen in my building.
Yep.
Sammy is good.
Samia's the goat. One of them.
Yeah, she could really handle.
She could
men.
probably handle you guys. She wouldn't want to. You couldn't afford her, but she could do it.
I don't need it. I
She's
got
like, I'm a
my show
revivalist.
pony. I got Bo Belinsky as
I
my
know.
TM. I love it.
She's
this
like-
is a good team. All right, let's continue.
I love this bit.
So my team, Frasco's Jam Band, Kanika Moore, Jen Hartswick, Sean Eccles, Victor Woon, Alvin Ford Jr., and Nick Erlock.
You should send that to him so he can put it on the screen.
I will. We'll put it up. And then Nicholas's team is Benny Bloom, Isaac
I forgot
Teal.
I'm in your band.
You're double working. Garrett Sayers, because I still need the podcast to be moving.
Yeah, you're
we
right.
can't-
You're right.
Yeah. Ivan Neville.
Oh, so I'm in my band too. Then we're both in our bands.
We're in our bands.
Oh, so I got a horn section. Me
you
and
got a
Benny.
horn set. You got you and Benny.
Oh fuck.
And
this
I
band
got
rips.
I got Jen, and
It doesn't matter. You only need one if you have Jen because she sings. Yeah,
you're right.
she's a glorious singer
Okay.
and a great.
I like
person.
this teams. These are good.
Okay, now I have to name them. Just kidding.
Oh man.
I'm going to name my band Goose 2, The Return of Goose.
I'm gonna name my band Oos.
I'm going to name
So
my
when
band.
people Google Goose, they'll have to find my band too.
I'm going to name my band the Pete Shapiro Band.
I
Pete
love
Shapiro's favorites.
Man. The Goose fans are getting pissed that I'm top billing on this European festival over Goose.
Well, you're bigger than them over there.
Yeah, but they're being salty as shit.
That's fun. It's usually Goose fans are usually the ones being attacked.
I know. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. They're probably not very good at attacking you.
No, they're not good. They're kind
They're
of
good people.
Yeah, the Goose fans are kind of nerdy.
Yeah, but that's whatever.
I
But,
like it's like
they have to put up with a lot of attacks.
that's true. So when they attack, they just don't know how to do it.
They don't know how to do it.
They're always on the defense.
Yeah, they're because they blew up so fast. They never had to climb. They never had to crawl through the mud. No, I'm just kidding. They were banned for a long time before they blew up. But,
No, I'm talking the fans.
I know.
They're fans.
The fans come up with the band, though, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
But, yeah, so what? They're mad that you're more famous than them in one country?
In Germany.
You're like, it's fine, guys.
One guy said, I guess they like Limp Bizkit covers. And I was about to text.
Yeah, by the way, yes.
Yeah, they do. It's Europe.
You mean the band of a generation?
The band that brings Rammstein sells out a fucking stadium.
Yeah,
Yes, they like
Germany
rock music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you seen their culture?
It's like you fucking nerd ass fans.
Yeah.
We have the tallest man on earth on the show tonight.
Is he actually the tallest man on earth?
No, he's European. He's
Europeans aren't tall.
shorter than we thought.
Actually, the Dutch that's the tallest nation. Did you know that?
But his songs are amazing. Hey, Chris, play some tallest man on earth. This guy was awesome. He was like,
is he tall though? How tall is he?
I think he's average. I think he's like 5'9", 5'10".
So like my height.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the name then?
I don't know. I think it's funny.
Oh, okay.
I did this interview a while ago, but I remember him distinctly talking about like, he worked his way up in the scene,
Hot?
He's hot as fuck.
I figured.
He's hot as fuck, and he has a little studio in the forest, and
ooh, where does he live?
He lives somewhere like Sweden.
Oh, he's not. He doesn't even live there in America anymore, or ever never did.
He never did.
Okay,
but he's big out here.
Tallest,
he got
tallest man on earth.
Yeah, I think Bon Iver, I think
is how they pronounce
on tour with each other.
Bon Iver's kind of dope. I don't always love that style of music, but he's so good at it. It's like, all right, you're just dope.
Yeah.
And he'll do weird shit like take 8 trombone players on tour.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. This episodes, I forgot, are sponsored by Dialed In Gummies. Guys, grab yourself some Dialed In Gummies. They're strong. They're powerful. You could also take a half a dosage if like me, and because I couldn't sleep last night. You said you couldn't sleep last night either?
Yeah, but I ran out. I've run out. I'm getting some more
I got
tomorrow.
a bunch.
Sick.
I got a bunch.
Yeah. I'll need them for tonight. So
Bo, you couldn't sleep last night either? So get yourself some Dialed In Gummies if you're in the Colorado area. Also, guys, buy tickets to our fall tour. It's coming. It's coming quick. Like this weekend, we're in Des Moines. Where else are we? Des Moines. Oh, we're playing in Urbana, the Canopy Club.
Oh, you are?
On Friday, September 8th
then you go to
with
Indy.
Dogs in the Pile. Then I go to Indianapolis.
My ancestral home.
Your ancestral home. All in music festival with Trey Anastasio and
everybody.
Everyone.
Tenacious
And
Defense.
are you still going or no?
No, I can't. I'm playing a private event here
That's
now.
good. You making money. Let's go.
I'm doing a lot of private events, guys. So
I love it. September 10th, we are playing with Herbie Hancock in St. Louis and Thundercat.
Oh, that thing looks awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
I love
Intersection Festival. 12th,
Good markets.
Philadelphia.
You're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, we're going to make a lot of money on merch. And then, but the ticket sales are okay. So I need you guys. I know you're waiting
They'll
last
pick
minute.
up.
We're not going to cancel. This is the canceling shows is over. It's
we
a new
didn't
era.
cancel when people were canceling.
Yeah, we were in the streets during those COVID jungles.
I think we canceled one show in that thing, didn't we? And what was it? It was something that was way out of the way.
It was way out of the way.
Wisconsin.
It was Wisconsin.
It was something weird though.
Yeah,
It was like,
something bad happened with our van or something.
Yeah. That weird.
And then volume.com. Head to volume.com, guys. I have a feeling that we're going to be streaming some of these shows on volume.com as well, the band shows. And also, we still are contractually obligated to do 2 more live streams with the podcast. So if we do some last minute podcast streamings, I know what else I want to do. I want to do one in like another town, like Atlanta, New York, Buffalo, or something.
Atlanta,
Philly.
I think would crush.
But I also want to do one more in the studio.
Yeah, me too. But it's live.
But it's live, kind of like the Segura one, interactive, and we'll play videos and stuff.
Like just 3 hours of just chilling and just like fucking around, where it's like doesn't have to be like.
We could take mushrooms, hit some nitrous.
Yeah, like
be fucking awesome.
Like the old days during the pandemic, kind of, but like a little more dialed in.
So head to volume.com. And
God, I love dialed in gummies.
Yeah, if you're a content creator, Volume is giving out grants. They're giving out money, guys. If you want to get your content on there, go to volume.com/content creator, right? Or /creator.
Yeah,
one of
creator,
those.
just /creator.
Volume.com/creator.
You'll figure it out. It's 2023. Just figure it out.
And then,
like, come on, guys.
And
you have a $3,000 MacBook, you can figure it out.
Come on, get it together, people. And if you just are just a fan and just want to listen to live shows, they have a catalog, a huge fucking catalog. Go out there and check out volume.com. All your favorite bands are slowly becoming one in the Volume family.
And we drafted them.
I
I like my team.
I do too. We're going to have a great week, guys. I feel good about my team. My team is fucking energy. My team is power.
My team is like a precision unit of...
Yeah, you've got precision.
We can do anything.
I've got rock and roll.
Yeah, you're a rock and roll band. My band's like...
I forgot I got you too, Gerlach. I got Jen and Nick.
You have two horns. That's a good fun horn section.
Yeah,
Me and
it's
Jen
fun.
like to get to goofing around sometimes.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, poor Jen.
I know. I don't want... We shouldn't bring that up.
Rest
Should
in
we?
peace.
Yeah,
A little
rest in
bit.
peace, James Casey.
Yeah, we got to bring it up.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be too goofy going into it. 'Cause
No.
It's
Very sad. We lost a soldier in the music game, James Casey.
One of the best musicians I've
One of the
ever played
best.
with in my life.
God, it's horrible.
Great guy, too.
Yeah, just fighting colon cancer, and it finally got him. And,
Yeah.
but he fought through it. He was doing, we did the interview with him, and
Yeah.
he was firstly addressed the chemo of how he's doing chemo through all the shows and stuff. And it's sad that we lost another brother in our scene. But he fought as hard as he could, and he still...
It was incredible how long he played music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while he was fucking hurting...
Well, too.
Yeah. While he was hurting, I'm like tearing up thinking about it. That's fucked up.
That's okay. It's pretty normal.
While he was hurting, he still was taking chemo and still trying to entertain people because music matters. So rest in peace, James.
And he made that solo album, too, last Christmas. Yeah.
You'll never be forgotten, buddy. You're going to...
I feel really bad for all his family and his band.
I feel really bad for Jen. I feel really bad for everyone in his band. So rest in peace, bud. All right. Wow. Way to end an episode.
Well,
But
it's important to talk about.
yeah, death is
I just didn't want to
crazy.
be like doing goofy stuff and then talk about that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Death is crazy.
Yeah.
And you're not alone. Everyone who's hurting, we're all hurting too. So stay optimistic, guys, and appreciate life. You never know when it's your turn to leave the party. You never know when it's your turn to go into, what do they call that? The iron cloud in the sky.
I don't know what you're singing, actually.
Yeah, true. I don't know what I'm saying either. All right, guys. Enjoy Tallest Man on Earth. And Denzel has just been sleeping the
He
whole
slept through the whole
goddamn
thing.
time.
You're supposed to be a star.
You're supposed to be a star, Denzel.
He's like, I am a star. This is what stars do.
This
They
is
lay
what star-
around on camera.
All right, guys. Enjoy Tallest Man on Earth. And we'll catch you next week. I got to go. Okay, enjoy the episode. Hey, what's up, Kristian? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing good. Just another morning. I didn't think this was going to happen, and I'm so stoked you agreed to this. So I want to kind of get down to the nitty gritty, if you don't mind.
Why? But I asked you, why do you think that?
I don't know.
Why do you think it's not gonna happen?
Sometimes folk, when I interview folk singers and songwriters, they're more sheltered to talk about the deeper, darker stuff in their life. And I'm glad you agreed to this. So it's cool.
Okay. Well, I have to talk to the other folkies then to see what's going on.
Well, tell me about your life in Sweden, man. Where'd you grow up? Tell me, give me kind of like the background of it and stuff, and let's go from there.
Well, I grew up 30 minutes from where I live today in a small town called Leksand, just 15,000 people. Sports town, big hockey team. That's in the highest division. So it's a very small town with a huge hockey arena.
Right.
So that's where I'm from. Just did all the sports. Did all the sports, but then I ended up in. I got saved by skateboarding and snowboarding because there were long winters here. So I was competing in snowboarding and skateboarding a lot, and that kind of led me into music. Of just had always been music around in my house. I always loved music, but from that, just starting in punk bands and stuff like that. So fast forward, I became what looked like an adult, and I started to tour in my early 20s, and lived in Brooklyn for 5 years, and just moved back. I've had this house. I bought this house in 2012. It's in the next county over where I'm from, and this county is just like, it used to be really poor, like back in the days. So there's like no tourists here. There's like no people here. It's like a lot of nature.
Yeah.
So started a bit into the pandemic. I just decided to move back here, and I'm in my studio. I have built one of the barns I turned into this.
It's sick, man. So why did you decide on skateboarding and snowboarding? What was your like major interest in the beginning? Was it you were just bored and didn't, it was just a lot of land out there, or did you have some skateboarders that inspired you? Why'd you pick skateboarding first?
Well, I think well, I don't know how I picked it or if it picked me, but just like, it's just, I think it's spelled ADD or something, that I was always, I grew up in a house next to there's a lot of nature around the woods. So and back in those days, I sound like a really old man, but I just turned 40. But you were just like allowed to just go out and play, and like as long as you're home in 5 hours or something. So I was playing a lot in the woods, doing a lot of adventures and stuff like that. So, and I did all the team sports like hockey and soccer and baseball. Even we had baseball in Sweden. But there was something about never really found the outlet for the confused kid, like being like starting to feel like, whoa, like being human's hard, anxiety and shit. So
right.
Like that, like skateboarding, then you could just like everything became an adventure, and you could just like see, you could look at the world creatively and just like lose yourself in that. And it was around that time when I just started to just like figure like, oh my God, music is doing this to me as well. I could just like, it actually happened while skateboarding. And it was like, I was devouring music, like all kinds of music. And I remember specifically like 2 songs. And I was like, at the same time, like, I didn't care what like genre, or I went to the library because we could borrow CDs, like 10 at a time. Just borrow CDs all the time. It was like before streaming and stuff like that. So, and there I found like so much music. And there was 2 songs while skateboarding. I was like listening to it. We had like a little boombox with, it's like Bob Dylan's "Don't Think Twice, It's All Right," and DJ Shadow's building theme from A Grain of Salt. I remember those 2 songs, and they were like the same thing to me. They were just like the ones like where I just like you like raised your gaze, like life could be in turmoil, and there was stuff that were hard in life, but like you were out there just like skateboarding and hearing the song and just like looking up, wow, life is so cool when you get that.
Yeah.
That bubbly feeling like that. And I guess that it's that like bubbly feeling I've been chasing since, like, wow, life is super cool. And I got that from skateboarding, and then later with, music.
What do you think you're escaping from your real life that made you feel like this was it? Did you have like a good family relationship, or were you an only child? Were you a loner? Was it hard for you to socialize? Like why'd you feel like being in this? Because it's very like isolated type of feeling, skateboarding. You're doing your thing. You're kind of on your own mission. Same with music. What made you feel like you had to escape from real?
Well, I don't really don't see it as escaping, because like, no, I'm not an only child. I have a sibling. But then it was early 90s in Sweden. It's a big financial crash here.
Right.
My dad lost his job, and it was just like it was not super,
not tight.
It was not.
It was not tight.
No, it was a little tight, and like everything, it was just like a super weird time in Sweden. We had it's kind of the start of what we had now. They were like a racist party that came into the start to just like all that kind of shit starting to happen, and it was not fun times. And like I never loved school. I kind of sailed through school with good grades just because I felt like I could kind of figure out the system anyway. But I always had I disliked it a lot. I didn't have a hard time finding friends and from that, but I didn't feel like that was escaping skateboarding music. And I feel it was like how I found these glimpses of this, like, wait a minute, I can be a positive force, even though when you're like I can do something positive with all this, like, this itching, this anxiety, this in me. I can put that to something that is not just like becoming like a fuck up, or being angry at, like, no one, like, that doesn't help much. Just like, how can I? It was a way instead of like escaping, because then I have that and still do this to this day. I have all this fucking gear now and all these guitars because through them I could, try to make something positive out of, I mean, and then you grow up and, like, oh my God, life wasn't hard at all. Like, it gets hard. It's all that, like, being, trying to be, okay with things happening. So
maybe it's not escaping, it's living.
Yeah.
And
living. And I'm just like, I'm grateful I found that. And say with skateboarding, with music, it's also a great social, like, you end up with like-minded people, and that you can be creative with, and it just
it's beautiful.
You can go on. Yeah.
Did you ever eat shit or, like, hurt yourself? You're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, snowboarding. I was actually just like I was competing a lot in snowboarding, and I was in half pipe, and I did drift out in the pipe and hurt my back really bad. And,
oh shit!
But I was fine. I was just really, it was just a wake up call. Like, oh my God, this thing really hurt. This is like, because before that, you're. So, but it was kind of around the same time when I just started, where music just started to take over more and more. So it was kind of a natural transition.
Isn't it amazing?
I do.
Oh, keep going.
Yeah, it kind of helped. But I would say with eating shit, like, in my hometown, because there was no one, like, no one really was just supporting skateboarding in my little small town, like. So but now these days, like, there's skate parks everywhere.
Right.
It's amazing. Like, they build these skate parks, but it's concrete.
Yeah.
We used to skate wooden ramps. So I go on skateboard, and man, it hurts so much. Like, it's like so, and there's always like a tour coming up or something. So I just like become this little scared person of just like, I should not. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like this idea of fearlessness. Once you get hurt once, you're like, oh, I'm not fearless anymore. It's the same with, like, touring. Do you remember your first time, like, maybe in your punk band, where you felt this idea of fearlessness, just traveling around? Like, were you traveling around in Sweden, or like were you traveling around in America? Like, give me some of that fearlessness in your punk band too.
Well, that, like, the fearlessness there, which is like, I've found videos of it, and it's like, but I think it's pretty cute. The truth, like, just like not having any clothes on, it's being out in the crowd and just being. But I'm glad. I'm really glad I had that, and it did plant a seed. That is, and also, like, I mean, there's a lot of, tours. You didn't eat and sleep on floors, and a lot of, uncomfortable things happened. But there was something so magical to me in to get to be on a stage and perform, where I could feel like I can be myself here. Like, this, the full, like, the the person that is not, who would be considered just like a mad person or crazy person if I would act like that if I expressed myself as I do on stage in the grocery store. But like on stage, it was this full freedom of just like letting all the impulses to just like go. So I was hooked. I was hooked for real. And when those bands started to fall apart because people were getting jobs and moving around, it just same. And another thing that was not like a clear transition or a cut. It turned into a solo thing, the tallest man on earth, because there was like not a band anymore. And I just put some songs up on MySpace that I recorded on one of these reel-to-reel recorders. Just put up on MySpace, and then it's like, hey, can you do a show in Stockholm? And she's like, sure. And then I had to like write a bunch of songs, and that was the start of the tallest man on earth. And it's kind of like tumbled into that, and I never really considered myself as like, oh, now I'm a folk singer. I was just like, I'm solo now, but I was finger picking really fast and yelling and running around and using the same energy I've done in like garage rock bands, you know?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Alexis on Fire turning into City with Dallas Green's project. Yeah, he was in a metal band, and then City and Color too. I just think it's so fascinating. When you were touring, was Sweden like supporting your punk project, or was it just like no one was showing up to these shows and it was just like, you know?
No, we were very supportive, like around here. Like we played this one place all the time where we could, where our confidence could grow, because we always had like sold out shows there. People were wild, but then we would tour around and playing like pretty shitty shows. But then we would open up for more successful bands, and that was the most fun ever. Just like, because there was no expectations on you. You could just come in, and it was a little disrespectful to the bands playing after. We just went for it. We were and so, but it was like not really going anywhere. Our songs were too weird to be played on the radio or whatever. But then when I started The Tallest Man on Earth, it was not loved either. Like I played some small shows here and around Sweden, and then the big cool music magazine that does not exist anymore, and there's this one part like where I don't like to be petty, but this time it's just fine to be petty.
Oh, be petty, Kristian.
My first full length, the Shallow Grave, they got it a 2 out of 10. As a review, it was a super mean review. It was my first review ever. It was so mean of this cool music journalist that it was just like this guy at it sounds like a guy at a frat party imitating Bob Dylan, and and I'm just like, oh crap, okay. But then over in America, like Pitchfork really liked it, and I went over and I befriended Justin Vernon. He invited me over to open up for Bon Iver, and those magical days after For Emma, and I went over there and we had an amazing tour. And right after that, in America, I could do my own headline shows because the support shows went really well. So I could do small but headline shows,
right, in
America. So then because we're here in Sweden, we're not supposed to be. We have this in our psyche. You're not supposed to stand out. You're not supposed to. This in the Midwest in America, where a lot of Scandinavians went. But then I was accepted back home.
Isn't it crazy?
So then I could. I know. It was fun, because then the Wild Hunt that came after got a 10 out of 10 in the same magazine. And I was just like, they sound the same.
Oh, you're like, fuck you, I'm on to you,
No, I'm not crowd, but I don't regret it that I
Right.
just never said yes to any interviews with that magazine. I just was like, nope,
Yeah.
no. And like, do you get the cover? No, I'm not going to do it. And then finally they went under, and it's like, I'm still here. So
I'm going to clap to that, Kristian. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. I like that. I'll fuck with that.
Don't support that. I should be bigger than that.
Talk to me about those first couple shows as Tallest Man.
It was, I think I was just excited and encouraged to see that it actually worked, because I, you know, at the time I was playing guitar like really like energetic and strumming really hard, and I figured that I could move around when I was not singing. So and I think that was kind of was first people over here were a little confused, like what is this guy doing? Then I think there's a thing that worked really well for me, because I was connecting to the crowd. I had that, like I was just, if I wouldn't have that that guitar, chord and the microphone, I'd probably be out in the crowd again. And just now, I'm just home from 32 shows of a tour, and now I have a band, and there's a song where I don't play guitar, and I was out in the crowd again. So I think I just felt that it just worked. It just worked. I was a little surprised that I could kind of, people were like, whoa, what's going on? And that encouraged me to just do it more.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like then, so what was your first break? What was like your first big show? You're like, oh shit, this is happening. This is real. I could actually do this. Was it in the States or was it in Sweden or Europe, or do you remember it?
Yeah, no, because I did go over to the States. My first time in the States, I went to Nashville. There's a label over there, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. But I went over and I played. I got to on my first day in America. I got to meet Carrie Underwood in Nashville.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
Dirty kid from Sweden, and it's like, hi, and it was. They meant really well, but it didn't work out. I played some small shows, and I played a small show in New York at the Living Room. And then I flew home, and that was just like, that was cool. It's probably not going to happen again because it was just so low key and small shows. Then I was invited over to Australia because the label there wanted to release my record. And I flew by myself to Australia and opened up for an artist down there, and like this is really cool. But at the same, I was studying at the same time at the university to become a teacher, because I didn't think I was going to make money playing music. And it was like also like this working class. You need to have a proper job.
Right.
So I was doing that. But then I was playing shows in Sweden, and also a little starting in Europe, going by train and playing some shows in the Netherlands and Belgium and Germany. Right. But then it was actually on the Bon Iver tour in 2008 when I had changed I was almost done with my studies to become a teacher, but I switched it over, so it was online. They had, for some students that couldn't be in school, you just you went on the computer and just like what we're doing now, but like a Zoom seminars and stuff. So I did that, and I was on that tour, and the shows were there was such a good response. And to me, to play Town Hall in New York, it was wild. It was like a dream. But I would get up, and I was traveling on the Bon Iver tour bus, but I had to get up at 4 a.m. because of the time difference.
Oh my fucking God. No way.
And I was just sitting on that bus, and I was just after doing a couple of those, and it's like, you know what, Kristian? I was talking to myself. Like, you can probably, this is probably, it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. You're actually on this tour. I was zooming out. What am I doing? And then I dropped out. I didn't finish the studies because this is not, you have to sleep. These shows are really cool. this is probably means something that like people. So that's when I understood. Yeah.
What advice was Justin giving you on that first tour? You know, like, were you guys talking? Were you guys becoming friends? Like, I knew it was like a first new world for you. You know, like what kind of advice that you're like, fuck it, I'm quitting school, I'm doing this. Like, you got the confidence from that tour. I was wondering what kind of advice he was giving you, or what kind of advice you got from the tour that kind of gave you the confidence to say, fuck everything.
Justin was kind of fresh touring at that point as well, touring with a tour bus and all that. But what I did see, and that I had other experience that weren't the same before that. I just like with Justin and Sean and Mike and Matt, who was in the band back then. I was just like very encouraged that, because they're very nice people. They're nice people and very like, you know, and it was easy to, the cultural differences breeds because they're all like Midwestern people from Wisconsin. And
yeah, they're all sweet out there.
And it's just like home away from home. Anyway, so I like, oh my God, you don't like you can be a nice person and still like and do this. I know this sounds silly, but like I
it's so
met some people that, like, there was like such a nervous vibe in like in Stockholm at that time, like between artists, and just like what are you guys doing? What there's like no, and they're more mellow about just like I just made this amazing album called Frema. No, he didn't say that, but just like do that, and then just like be, you know, I don't know how to express that in words, but just like, oh my God, you could still be like we were just people having a lot of fun. People have a lot of fun, and these are, you guys play together for a reason, because you like each other. You like making this music together. So it was that, and then you know I'm unsure if no, I'm not gonna go into that. I was just like, but you were saying like you tour a lot, and like the Dylan's and all those, and I'm reading Lucinda Williams' autobiography right now, and just like there's something when she's saying like this, like just being on a tour bus, just being on the road, it just becomes this thing that it's so comfortable. It's what we know. It's what we do, and I can subscribe to that for sure. Like now, I love it. I love it so much. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard, but I feel that I'm kind of built for it.
Right.
You know, it really fits me. I have a lot of people who, especially here in Sweden, they say like, "Well, you're so lucky. You get to work with your hobby. You get to work with something you love," and that is true. And I'm so grateful that I get to work with something that I love, and I love playing music, and I love playing shows. And that is like I can almost like, okay, let's not consider that my job then, just my hobby. But then, not everyone's cut out to tour like you do, like that. Like we do, it's madness to stay mentally sane, and you have your body hold up for it.
Yeah, it's kind of insulting when they say it's a hobby when it's really a 24-hour gig. You know, you're like you're in a van. I mean, you're in a. It's like condescending.
Oh yeah. I know, and that's what's great. But sometimes you have someone, well, come on tour for a week then.
Yeah, see what it's like. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is hard. Yeah. But then I have to say I love it. It's what we do, right?
Was it lonely traveling by yourself? Seemed like you were just like it's like a stand-up comedian. You know, like you had no crew. You're basically by yourself with the other person's family. Must have got a little lonely on some tours, right?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was definitely lonely. But it's also Yeah, again, maybe I can romanticize about it now, but like, yeah, my sucked being on a train in Europe and like running to not miss trains and like that. And yes, it was lonely. But then I had the luxury of in America when I could do headline shows, I could afford a tour manager.
Right.
So I was just like, it would be me and a tour manager. And there one like 7-week tour, just like in a little car, just 2 people, just like American. And that's when I learned how to speak English for real. You know, just like
just talking with the tour manager.
Yeah, just be so close with someone for so long and chasing cities. But there was another loneliness that was in my career after the Wild Hunt, and there's no leaving now. It was going like this, and I was starting to play really big shows, and I was starting to have a small crew. Like I had a front of house, a tour manager. Yeah, that was the crew for a long time, and then I could finally have like a guitar tech because I used so many different like that. But that's only 3 people in a crew, and I remember I was playing the Sydney Opera House for the first time, and just like I did this show like this like pinnacle, like I've done this thing, and I was just in the green room. I've told this story before. I've told the story so many times. So I was just in the green room, having done this amazing thing in my life, and in this beautiful green room, like looking out over the Bay Bridge, I think it's called, and then like this massive Steinway piano in the green room. Like there's no one here. Like this is. So then, as a reaction to that, I made Dark Bird is Home, the album, and I toured with a band for 2 years.
Right.
Because I just felt like I need to have some camaraderie and to share this experience. So like just like a crazy weird energy that is on stage, and it's so hard to explain to anyone else. Just like you could do that with a band. And I did that for 2 years, and then I started touring solo again because then I had such a big crew. So that became my band, and there was, and I, this crew had, my front of house. I've known him since we were 10 years old, and my guitar tech, like I've had different guitar techs, but the guitar tech I have now, I've known since high school, and now we've done so many shows together. So they're with me. They know what's going on, and that became my camaraderie. And now I have the super luxury of having a band and that crew, because since I made this new album, I needed a band again. And it's I feel like that lonely period was. I've been blessed that it was not that long.
Did you ever get into like any addictions? Say that again.
Are you lonely on tours? Do you go by yourself?
No, I'm on tour with my band, but I'm lonely as shit. I don't know. It's just this idea of like, it's just the isolation syndrome. Like it's like a lot touring. What people don't realize is it's a lot of goodbyes, and that kind of makes me sad. You know, we do a lot of. We say goodbyes more than we say hello, and that kind of bums me out thinking about that.
Yeah, but we do come to some, like I have friends who live in LA, and I go there on tour and for meetings, and thanks to that, I get to that. It's hard to get on a plane for 13 hours from here to just like try to, but I get to go to, like, that's what, when I was living in Brooklyn, that like there's not, musicians don't live in New York anymore. Like maybe now people are trying to move back a little, but like the good thing about living there is just like there's a band coming in playing all the time, so you get to see. But I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take that away from you. There are a lot of goodbyes.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I mean, it's in Nashville too. Is like that. That's why I moved to Denver. It's like all the bands are coming here. You know, it's part of that. It's part of that world. What do you like better though? What do you like better? Big band, like all the anxiety of having 11 guys you have to feed, or better when you only have like 4 guys?
You know, I can't. I mean, it's just I have the luxury now of doing the thing that I feel like doing.
Let's go.
In the moment. So like right now, I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful for the years prior to this were just like me and an amazing big crew. But to get back to, I used to live a very like a conditional life that made me lonely on tour. It was just like and also like that. I'm lucky that we're really close friends, but I had I was married. I have a divorce behind me because it just like I had this, you know, you travel all the time, and then I would have like, but if I have, I would be like divided of wanting to be on tour or be home, and knowing that like where do I find joy in my life? I need to have this like conditions, like I have to have like a really great relationship, and then I have to have a perfect home. I need to know where home is,
right?
And
Same.
all that. It was like when I was out on tour, I just wanted to like be home. Like I tattooed a horse here to just like that was my first tattoo. Now I have plenty, but just like that was just homesickness. But then I was home, and it's just like, oh my god, no, I need to move. I need to move around.
That's
like,
how
that's when I can say.
It's me too, bro.
I know. And it just like it was such a hard life to live when you have to have this like I have to figure out how to be happy on the road and happy at home and have that and have. But then I think it was during the pandemic we couldn't play, and just like it was a lot of waking up, you know, like to be appreciative of the things, the whole, you know, every mindfulness bullshit.
I read something that it was like you were going through a hard time during the pandemic. Is that true? It's like hard for you to write.
No, it's like my first time being depressed in my life because I've had my share of anxiety in my life and that dark brooding thing. But I've never been because I'm kind of hyper.
Yeah,
that's what, you know. I move around. I do a lot of things. I get a lot of stuff done, not in a linear way, but like I keep. That's how I deal with
anxiety.
You know, anxiety, and just like I get shit done. But then during the like I was here. I moved back here, and I didn't really see people because people weren't hanging out, and I couldn't make music. Everything I wrote was just super dark and depressing because everything I consumed was just like information of like the ways I could die, like about my own mortality. And
were you divorced at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
We're great friends.
Okay.
But then I just like I couldn't. I wrote these songs and they were terrible. They were just like, no one wants to hear this. I don't want to sing these songs. and that was the first time in my life because I always like used music for
therapy.
That outlet of therapy, and just like, you know, when you have a little, you know, the crooked vent thoughts that you can't fit into anything in life except in instruments. That's where they make sense. But I couldn't do that. So I put the instruments away, and I did spend a lot of time in my garden, just growing vegetables and just like getting myself tired. Just like physical work. But I got depressed. Just like for the first time in my life, I was sitting on my couch and just like, no, I just don't want to do anything. I just because it was so you got your hopes up, or just like you booked a tour. I'm like, no, I got canceled. And like, could I do this? Like, no, maybe later. And I'm not, that doesn't work well with my brain of just like, when things are just floating, like maybe later. So I got really depressed. But then, you know, in late, there was a short little window in 2020, but then more so at the end of 2021 when we could play shows. And this was really eye-opening to me, because I used to be scared of playing shows to just a few people, just like really small shows. When I had done shows, because it just felt so naked.
Normal.
Even though I am I'm trying to engage with the audience as much as I can, even though I'm up on a bigger stage, like it's like, oh my God, I'm back here. And like, this is hard to play for just like, but we could do shows for 50 people. Like there were 50 people capped, and I hadn't done a show in so long, and I just loved it. I just went for it. And like, oh my God, you've been taking this for granted. Just like, never take this for granted.
Never again.
You know?
Yeah, it's beautiful, Kristian. I just love your story, man. It's like, you found what you're looking for in life, and you just kept going. And a lot of people give up before they even see what the path can even be, you know. And that's why I'm a super fan of you, and I'm honored to have a conversation with you, bro. Thank you.
I'm honored you wanted to have it.
Yeah, I wanted to have it for about 5 or 6 years.
Oh wow! Well, I'm calmer now, and I'm probably a more interesting conversation now.
Were you ever like addicted to coke or drugs or anything, or alcohol? Or?
No. I mean, alcohol is the big danger. But I've been how do you say it? I managed to not get stuck in it. I want to say it's the most like helpful thing. I don't want to promote it, but just like it creates anxiety too. But just like for my type of brain, it's great. But then I can't. Then it creates more anxiety. You're in that loop. So just like, luckily, my body has told me that I don't really need it. But then with other drugs, I guess I've hung out with people on coke too much, just not wanting to be in coke. And I tried it a couple of times, and just like, and I can't deal with the emptiness. Like that was the scariest thing ever. And then also like I don't want to become that person. It's just like so. And then drugs don't really do good things with my brain. Like I can't. I'm not helped by weed at all. It's just up my brain. And
traveling is the drug, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. Yeah.
And like it is. I mean, we have to. That's what we get the dopamine from there, and it's pretty fucking weird rush. It's amazing rush.
It is. It's
to be on a stage, like, because it's such a crazy thing. It's just like you have to lean into it fully, and that's what's so beautiful. Like there's a lot of people here, and you can't fuck up. Like don't, and then you don't fuck up because you're just like you lean into it. And I played things on stage that I can never play here. Here, it's just like because it's on you don't think, you're just in that flow, and it's a beautiful thing. But then you get a taste of it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why you're depressed, because you're afraid you're going to lose your dopamine like a junkie during the pandemic.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah, but what I think it is that I get I'm not a very competitive person.
Yeah,
I feel like I've won in life anyway. But I don't want to compete against other people, but I have definitely, that's what I've been doing. It's like to show myself that I could be, to do something bigger than just like being stuck in anxiety. I've had these daydreams about when I was writing songs and being like, let's fucking play this like in a big club in Stockholm. And then it became like, what if I can play this? And it just ended up, I played Royal Albert Hall. Just like I daydreamed about that, watching some Bob Dylan documentary early. Like, I'm going to play this. And I would just like, as a kid, I would just like imagine I was there. And then, I'm a white dude. So.
Yeah. And,
privilege. So.
Yeah. And it's like you put your dreams in fruition, they happen. Well, this is great, Kristian. Thanks for being on the show. Hopefully we get to meet each other in person. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play. I think I'm going to play somewhere in Colorado soon, like in the fall.
Cool. And we're doing some dates with Head and the Heart, and I think you're on some. I think we're doing the same fest together somewhere. Either this.
Let's
summer,
find each other.
Yeah, we'll find each other. Kristian, thanks for being on the show. I got one last question, and I'll let you go. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered by?
What I want to be remembered by?
Yeah. What do you want to be remembered? What does your legacy? Do you believe in legacy?
I don't. Not much. Not much. I am not afraid of dying. No, I am afraid of dying, like the actual dying part.
Yeah.
Like, because I spent time with people dying, but being gone, I'm not scared of. But I do. I mean, if someone remember me as kind or doing like being a nice person, like I and being inspired by that. Just like be a nice person. I'm not saying that I'm a nice person all the time, but that's what I want to try to be, and that's what I want to be remembered for.
Well, we're thankful you're out here, buddy. Thanks for being on the show.
Thankful for you, Andy. Have a great day.
You too, buddy. Go make some great music. Don't beat yourself up too much.
No, I'll come find you. Bye.
See you. Bye, bud. Later.